Metallurgical Engineering IT, BHU Banarsi. His fields of interest are powder metallurgy, rapid solidification, separate deposition, glass ceramics, magnetic materials, semiconductors, photocatalysts, electrolytes, etc. Dr. O.P. Pandey has teaching experience more than 30 years. Dr. O.P. Pandey lead more than 30 research projects in different areas of DST, DRDO, UGC, MOM, DIT, UGC, DAE, etc. Dr. O.P. Pandey has published more than 400 research papers in SCI journal and near about 500 research papers in conference proceedings. He has supervised more than 40 PhD students and um, and designed, fabricated, and tested co- converting nozzle for melt atomization and develop a high pressure autoclave. Dr. O.P. Pandey is life member of various national and international institutes, associations, and societies. Now, in this session, Dr. O.P. Pandey is going to share and guide us. So, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, and particularly I am thankful to Dr. Satnam Singh, who has given me opportunity to talk to you people. Am I audible to everybody or not?
Yes, sir.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है सबको कि नहीं आ रही है?
The participants present over here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
आ रही है ठीक.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. Thank you. So nice of you. Please mute yourself. Okay. So actually, I am a man who is working in the area of different type of materials. That includes semiconducting materials, metallic materials, and many more. Okay. And the reason why I am saying this, that the area which looks to be fascinating for me, whatever the area may be, I move there and start doing. You will be surprised to know that I have published my papers in different areas, in the computer science area, in biotechnology area. That includes seed germination and how you can enhance the seed germination. I have supervised 2 PhD in this area. Now, for today's talk, I have decided that I will be talking about the recent area where I have supervised many PhDs. And importantly, why I have selected this area, the reason is that this is very fascinating area because it has wide range of applications. So that's why I have decided to talk in this area. But considering the fact that most of the participants, they are either research scholars or they are in the beginning of their research careers. Okay. So I will be not going in deep details of all these things, but only what I want to say that I will be talking about some of the basics and fundamentals which may attract you people to work in this area. So for today's talk, I have decided that I will be talking about the transition metal carbides. Okay. When I talk about the transition metal carbide, I mean to say that this is the area which is in demand, particularly for those people who are from the background of mechanical engineering. Because if you see the cutting tools, they are all made of carbides, which they are fixing on the lathe machine, and they are cutting the various iron and different metallic substances here. They are shaping it rather. So this material is very hard, and not only that, for cutting tools, even for the, if you see the nozzles, fighter planes, where fighter planes, you know that whenever they are going to eject the fuel, the temperature at that particular point it increases to something around 1400 degrees centigrade, like that way. Because of the reason why I'm saying because the fuel burns in the process of atomization, the size of the fuel becomes very small and they produce lot of energy, lot of heat there. So this material is a material which can sustain very high temperature. This material is very hard. This material is versatile material, I would like to say. But very recently, our group, they have started doing work in this area because of some other properties which had been investigated over here. That materials, when it is transformed from bulk material to nanomaterial, it gives a very fascinating property. It is a very good catalyst which can convert your which can produce hydrogen even from water itself is there. So in the area of energy, we have formulated something where I will be demonstrating you that this material can act as a very good catalyst here. That's why this material has become very fascinating for me also, and also for others. संजना मैडम आप म्यूट कर लीजिए प्लीज. Okay, so let us go to the next slide. Okay, now why I am saying that, if you look the national grid system which is going to supply energy to most of our states and like that way, what they are going to do, that you will find that some of the states, they are producing very high amount of electricity, very high amount of, and some of the states, they are in demand also. So what is required, that you have the excess amount of energy has to be stored in one way or other, so that wherever there is a demand, you can supply it. When the demand is high, you can use that stored energy and you can transmit the energy.
Excuse me, sir. Can you make the can you put it in the slideshow mode? The screen is very small.
F5.
So kindly put on the PPT mode. It's at the bottom. You can go in the yes, sir. Just left on the PPT mode, sir. Just left, sir. Bit more left. There is an icon.
So I think the only F5 key will work. It will go to slideshow mode. F5 key.
Control F5.
Only F5, sir.
F5, is it okay
Yes, sir.
now?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So what I want to say that this particular material, when it transforms to the nano size, it can act as a very good capacitor. That part I will be talking about this one. Okay. So this is the brief introduction about this material. So what I want to convey here is that because of its inherent property, these materials are used for different charging applications and other electrical devices here. Now, so what I want to say that these materials, these carbide materials, they can act as a supercapacitor, and they have many applications as far as power electronics is concerned, telecommunication devices are concerned, even the satellites also. So you will find that these materials are highly useful for general use here. That's why. But only thing is that the problem is that these materials cannot be fabricated or synthesized so easily here. So what I can say that until unless you are going to reduce the size of the material, it is it cannot act as a capacitor because you have to create some intercalating layer in between here. So among the supercapacitors, you will find that there are many more applications which are currently in use. Most importantly, the people are working on 2D materials like graphene oxides here. There are other category of materials where I have shown over here 2D materials, chalcogenide materials, metal oxides, some of the metal oxides, MXenes, platinum supported carbon. I will be talking about the right side part, platinum supported carbon and carbide and transition metal carbides and MXenes. These three segments I will be covering here. However, we are also working on other part also, but for the current today's talk, I am not considering the remaining part. Only I will be talking about the transition metal carbides in particular and MXene phases in general. So because the talk will be too long here. Now, what is important here is that if you talk about these supercapacitor material, platinum carbon is the best till dates. It has been reported because the reason is that it is reported that these class of materials are very good here. But the fact is that here the cost of the material becomes very important. Cost not for the carbon in 2D form or in other form also, even in the amorphous form also, but the cost of the platinum that becomes very important. So because of the platinum, the cost of this particular assembly becomes very high. So we have to look for those materials which are cheaper and also it can be easily fabricated and it can be used here. Second part is that stability is also one of the key issue, because if you work on these materials, sometimes the temperatures go very high, sometimes temperature become very low. So what is going to happen, that stability becomes very important here. Okay, so what I have listed 5 categories over here. Carbon and supported structures are preferred because of the higher resistance to corrosion, even for the acidic and basic medium both. And the properties can be enhanced when synthesized in nanoscales because of the higher surface area. Synthesis methods and processing parameters plays very important when we are going to synthesize these materials. And most importantly, the morphological features also becomes very important. What type of shape is the material is going to acquire. So when we talk about TMC, transition metal carbides, I have put over here that these transition metal carbides, they are used as a mechanical tools. They are also used coatings, thermal barrier coating, okay, in different boilers, supercapacitors, fuel cells, and catalysts also. So these are the 5 important applications of all these materials here. And when we talk about the transition metal carbides, the transition metal carbide is further divided in 3 different groups. Interstitial transition metal carbides, group 4, group 6, and molybdenum and tungsten carbides. So for me or for us, when we talk about the different type of carbides, molybdenum carbide is very important because we have done lot of measurements for the different carbides, tungsten carbides, tantalum carbides, so many carbides we have worked here. And you know that you will be surprised that I have supervised more than 10 PhDs in this area here. So none of the carbide area is left whenever we talk about this area. But my experience says that the molybdenum carbide is the best one among all these categories here. Why this is best one? The reason is that when we consider the structure of the material, not crystal structure, you know, there are many types of structure, physical structure, crystal structure, and electronic structure. How and in what way the electrons are arranged in the orbital table, in the orbital. And second thing is that how and in what way the electrons are going to behave when it is in the form of composite or something else here. So the electronic structure of the molybdenum carbide is similar to that of the platinum, and because of the similarity of the carbide, this molybdenum, most of the carbide, particularly molybdenum carbide, similarity of the carbide with the noble metal platinum, it is going to exhibit similar type of catalytic behavior as is being observed for platinum itself here. So that is why this has become very, very important here. Why this is so? Because molybdenum carbide has expanded D band structure similar to that of the platinum. As a consequence, even with fewer electrons, the band is filled to a greater extent, and presence of carbon, that is a supporting carbon, which I will be talking about how the supporting carbon is inbuilt there itself. Presence of the carbon, it increases the metal to metal distance and crystal lattice expands here. So this is the key features for the molybdenum carbide here, and that makes not similar type of structural parameters for that of the platinum. Okay, and important thing is that this molybdenum carbide is less expensive when we talk about the noble metals like platinum, palladium, and other metals here. So that is why it has become very, very important here. Now, this is very, very critical parameter. You know that for the synthesis, you know, carbides are normally synthesized at very high temperature. High temperature means that you have to take precursors, put the carbon inside and heat it to very high temperature, something around 1400 degrees centigrade for a longer duration. So what happens that in this process, carbon diffuses inside the substance and it eliminates oxygen in the form of either carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, and carbon diffuses and the material is transformed to carbide, just like tungsten carbide, WC, molybdenum carbide, MO2C, like that way. So what I want to say that because of the high temperature and also time duration, it makes the process very, very expensive. And importantly, that you are not able to convert the entire oxide into carbide also, because that also depends upon the size of the oxide which has been taken as in the form of precursors here. So what we have done, that we have designed an autoclave. Normally people use autoclave at low temperature, something around 200 or like that way. Okay. But what we have done, this is a special class of autoclave which can act at very high temperature, something around in between 600 to 800 degrees centigrade. Okay. So that is material selection and coefficient of thermal expansion. So many parameters are there. So what we have done, that we have hunted different type of materials, and after hunting a lot, we could come up with one class of material where coefficient of thermal expansion is considerably low as compared to different type of steels, other steels what we have taken over here. And second thing is that the gaskets, which is important, the choice of the gaskets which is not going to break or burst even at such high temperature here. So all these things have been done, optimized, fabricated many times. And after a lot of failure, we could succeed in designing this autoclave. So what we are going to do, that in this autoclave, we are putting molybdenum source. It may be any type like molybdenum oxide or whatever the readily available, and then carbon source. And apart from this, we are also putting one reducing element which is important here. So let me tell you that we have worked on different reducing element, and after doing a lot of work, we could conclude that magnesium magnesium flakes, not powders also, magnesium flakes are a very good reducing element here. And the question arises that why we are using reducing element over here. The reason is different. Let me tell you. Whenever we are going to put all these materials in the autoclave, there are some inherent oxygen which are left inside the chamber of the autoclave. that oxygen has to be removed. So what is we are going to do, that we have to purge some argon or some any inert gases, so that the oxygen may come out. So even then, despite of doing all these things, what we could realize that there are some leftover oxygen which are not desirable, because we want to convert the oxides to carbides here. So what we do, we have done that we need not to purge the oxygen, purge the argon and other whatever gases you can say, in order to remove the oxygen from the chamber. What we have done, that we have taken magnesium as a reducing element, and whenever we are going to, after putting all these elements, we are sealing the autoclave properly. The sealing of the autoclave is important here, and we are heating it to higher temperature, different temperatures, something around 600 for some time, 700 for some time, 800 for some time. You have to optimize the process parameter here. Now, what is going to occur inside the autoclave, that magnesium is highly reactive substance. Everybody knows that magnesium is explosive substance. ये जो आपके पटाखे वगैरह बनाए जाते हैं दिवाली में, उसमें भी मैग्नीशियम फुलझड़ी वगैरह में यूज होता है, आप लोगों को पता होना चाहिए. So this is very reactive substance. What magnesium it is going to do inside the chamber, that it absorbs the oxygen from the chamber itself, and it is converted to magnesium oxide. Magnesium transforms itself to the magnesium oxide, and magnesium oxide, एक मिनट बोलो, अभी मेरे आई एम नॉट फ्री, बाद में आना मेरे को 2 घंटे बाद. Magnesium oxide, it is a very good crystal, very good substance which act as a catalyst. So magnesium oxide facilitate the transformation of heavy molecule carbon source, okay, heavy molecule carbon source to smaller, like smaller octane number, very smaller octane number, and even it facilitate the carbon source to transform into very small size, nano size carbon. So it becomes easy, very easy for the carbon to diffuse inside the oxide layer and transform it. Now, what is going to happen here? Everybody knows, even let me tell you that we have used waste material also, polythene also, as a carbon source here in order to get transform it. So what it comprises, it is hydrocarbon. Everybody knows that it is a hydrocarbon. So whenever we are going to treat it, there is hydrogen is being generated, and carbon is also being generated inside the autoclave here. So what hydrogen does, you know that there is one phenomena that is called hydrogen embrittlement in most of the steels, like in power plants also, like in wherever you go, that the failure of the steel, mostly it occurs because of the hydrogen embrittlement. So we have used that particular property in order to synthesize material, and hydrogen embrittlement occurs because of the diffusion of the hydrogen along the grain boundary, and at triple point of the grain boundary, hydrogen is collected from different, because it moves along the grain boundary, it is collected, and because at that particular point it starts dancing, and it makes the entire substance slightly hollow, and from that particular point the material is going to break. This is the basic fundamental aspects of the hydrogen embrittlement here. So what we have done, that in the autoclave hydrogen is being produced here, and hydrogen, it diffuses along the grain boundary and it breaks the material to very small size, nano size. Whatever the oxides you are going to take, it is being converted to small size nanoparticles. And on that smaller size nano oxides, carbon is being deposited. And carbon slowly, because of the higher temperature and time passage, with passage of time, carbon slowly diffuses inside the material. So outer layer becomes rich in carbon, and the inner core becomes less in carbon. And once you perform the experiment for a longer duration, you have to optimize the time and temperature both. So entire oxide is being converted to carbide here. So after completing the experiment, you have to take out the autoclave. Rather, you have to switch off the furnace, let the autoclave cool inside the furnace and take it out on next day. You will be getting some mass that is black in color. And this mass, because it contains magnesium as a substance, magnesium oxide. So you have to wash it with dilute HCl and then dry it. You are going to get nanocarbides here. In this process of fabrication or synthesis of the carbide, what I want to say here is that whatever the carbon source you are going to take, what type of carbon source you are going to take, you can take any waste material. We have taken polythene as a waste material. We started from the ethanol, methanol, different type of carbon sources. But ultimately we could succeed even from the polythene also. So you are going to get this material. Now this is very fascinating material. You can see here that that you have to characterize it. Okay, and then finally, the important thing is that you have to go for the electrochemical studies here. This is the photograph I have shown over here, and it comprises of 3 electrode system. In this one is reference electrode, working electrodes. Okay, so through this process, by measuring the electrochemical properties of this particular material which has been synthesized, you can predict the property in a different way. Okay, so this is another way I have depicted how you are going to get it. Okay, and this is, you can see that this is the shape of the autoclave over here, and this is kept inside the furnace. This is the actual photograph of the black mass, and like that way you are going to get it here. Okay, now after doing all these things, you have to characterize the material. And characterization is being done with the help of, first of all, XRD. You have to take the XRD of the material so that you can easily predict that what type of phases you are going to achieve here. So I'm not going to, this is the refinement part over here, the material which has been synthesized at 600 degrees centigrade for 20 hours, okay, in the furnace. 700 degrees centigrade for 14 hours in the furnace, okay, and all these things we have done it. What I want to say here is that this is the table where I have presented. We have worked on the 600 degrees centigrade to 700 degrees centigrade. But the idea was that since this material is synthesized at very high temperature, 1200 degrees centigrade, so we have brought down the synthesis temperature to lower enough, 600 degrees centigrade even also. So these are the phases which are present inside the material. One can see that the major phase is, you can see this molybdenum carbide exists in 2 forms. One is MOC, another is MO2C. So you can see that our interest is not in MOC because MOC is not a good catalyst. MO2C is a very good catalyst here. So after optimizing the process parameter, you can see that the material which has been synthesized at 700 degrees centigrade for a holding time of 14 hours, we are able to get MO2C phase along with the carbon. Now, this carbon support is important. You know, if you are going to take MO2C itself, it is not going to help to that much extent as compared to MO2C and the carbon both here. Now, crystallized size, you know, everybody, perhaps all of you might be knowing what is the crystallized size, though the crystallized size is lower for lower temperature synthesis and higher for the higher temperature synthesis. You will find that the crystallized size is increasing from 600 degrees centigrade to 700 degrees centigrade. So this is the characterization part, and the structural part I have already shown in the right side of the PPT, where you can see that this is the molybdenum and these are the carbon substances which are arranged over here. So in this case, you will see that the C-axis is elongated. This is the mechanism. I have already told you that what is going to occur inside the autoclave, and this is the important part. You can see that initially there is a carbon coating on the surface, and slowly it is going to become thicker and thicker, and at the interface of the material, the elimination of oxygen is going to take place and carbon is being deposited over here. So what you can see that inside, this is the core part. You will see that molybdenum oxide is existing, and here you can see that hydrogen is penetrating slowly along the grain boundary, and MO2C layer is going to form inside. This is the mechanism which we have this reported in scientific report. It is a Nature group of publication. Okay, so what we have done, that important thing is that we have done Raman analysis where you will find the D band and D band structure. Okay, so these are the parts which are important here, and ID by IG is important. The ratio becomes very, very important here. The people who are working in this area, they may understand it very well. Okay, this is the structural part, microstructure part. This is the SEM picture of that material which has been synthesized at 600 degrees centigrade and 700 degrees centigrade here. Now, the part which is important for us to understand here is that the different features. People do talk about the phases, but I always talk about the features which are important. You can get the material, you can synthesize the material, you can produce even very fine size of the material, but features becomes very, very important. Here you can see that this is the interconnecting connected rods type of structure. Along with this one, you will find that very small size of the precipitates that are existing on B, structure B part here. Structure A part comprises of some of the part with rod type of structure and very small size of the precipitated part on the surface of the synthesized material. Whereas at 600 degrees centigrade, you will not find such type of features which is important here. At 700 degrees centigrade, you will find such features which are existing over here. Why I want to say, why I'm that much interested? The reason is that this is the low magnification and high magnification pictures, that this helps in the transportation phenomena. When we talk about the nanoscale, this helps in the transportation phenomena. This is important. As far as TEM is concerned, transmission electron microscopy is concerned, you can see that the features is full of the carbides along with some carbon substances which are in the form of either rod or graphene. This is these features. And second thing is that if you measure the spacing, you will find that this spacing confirms that the material is molybdenum carbide here. And we have taken different type of features where the presence of molybdenum, carbon, and even oxygen is important here. From these structural features, what we could conclude that it's not, for catalytic application I'm talking about, it's not important that you are going to get very good feature molybdenum carbide. It's important that you must have some hybrid type of structure which may comprise of molybdenum, carbon, and also some leftover oxygen. It provides, very good platform for the capacitance application here in this case, which I will be talking at the later stage here. Now, different structural features, what we could see that in this process, the formation of carbon nanotube also becomes important here. These features I have already enlarged in the next one, but you can see that these are the bending phenomena where you will find that inside the carbon nanotube, some carbides are these carbides are encapsulated inside the carbon nanotube. Second structural feature, you can see that this carbon nanotube is going to form from the graphite structure. You can see that this graphene, just like graphene, is rolling out. You know that you people might have seen the onion. जो प्याज आप खाए हैं, प्याज के जो पतले छिलके होते हैं ना एकदम बारीक से, उनको आप निकाल करके बाहर रख देंगे तो अपने आप रोल आउट होता है. अगर आप कभी आपने देखा होगा, प्याज को काट लीजिए, बाहर के छिलके को निकाल लीजिए, तो वो थोड़ा थोड़ा अपने आप बाहर रख रोल आउट होता है. Similar phenomena you can see over here that this thin layer is rolling out from here, And this thin layer is converted to very fine size of the carbon nanotube, and this carbon nanotube is here. You can see they are going to form. So what I can say, these are the structural features which we have observed at material synthesized at different temperature, so that we can predict the actual mechanism what is going to occur inside the material. So mechanism becomes very, very important. How and in what way the transformation is going to take place, what is the role of the carbon, that is important here. So these are part of the publication at different places. But what I want to say that these are the features which we have observed over here. Coming to the another type of features which I have shown you, that we have taken a bulk size of the material. Bulk size means that not very nano size, one particular substance. We have taken bulk size also, and we have done the mapping of the different elements, as you can see from the colors which are existing over here, that this itself shows that molybdenum carbon, apart from molybdenum carbon, oxygen is also present inside the material here. Okay, coming to the catalytic part, electrochemical studies, you can see that this is the Tefel slope. Okay, we have measured, this is the Tefel slope. Okay, and this is not so important, but in the beginning, in the initial stage, you have to do all these things in order to optimize the material. But important thing is that, you know, this is the cyclic voltammetry performance over here. There are many cycles. You can see that what we have done, that we have observed it at first few cycles, and we have gone up to 1,000 cycles also. Okay, so this rectangle for capacitance application, this is important that it acquires the shape of the rectangle. You can see that this is the shape of the rectangle, and after doing lot of cycles, you will see that how and in what way the voltage and current parameter are going to change in this entire segment here. So what I want to mention over here, that it's not one cycle, two cycle, hundreds of cycle is important, so that you can predict the behavior of the material. Okay, for electrochemical applications here. So this is the electrochemical synthesis. This part I have shown over here because there are a lot of waste which are generated in our atmosphere. This is the environmental problem. This waste can be easily cycled in order to get a very good material. Now you can see that if you see these structural features, this is the layered structure, positive, negative, it performs a layered structure just like for the capacitance over here. Okay, so this becomes important for us for the electrochemical, because you can produce hydrogen from the catalytic application. You can split the water to oxygen and hydrogen, and you can easily collect the hydrogen part, and you can make use of this material for the fuel, as a fuel. Okay. Now, second parameter, what we have done, that it's not molybdenum carbide, and which is important. We have to generate a composite material where it may comprise of molybdenum carbide and nitrogen as a substance. Because why I'm interested in nitrogen? Because nitrogen contains a lone pair of electron here, so that participates in conduction here. So our interest was that we have to have a hybrid material where we can get even far better catalytic properties of the material. So following the similar type of steps, like we have used polythene waste material over here, we could synthesize that molybdenum carbide and carbon and nitrogen. This is the hybrid composite material. Okay, over here. We have followed the similar process. I need not to elaborate all these things. So we have also worked on that particular material, which is important here. And like that way, what we have done, that we have characterized the material based on the requirement. What we have done, that we have synthesized the material at different temperatures, 700, 800 degrees, even 600 degrees centigrade. I'm not going to give all these parameters here, but we have done what we have done, that we have, after doing a lot of experiment over here, we have taken as a course AHM. Okay, this is the compound we have taken for the nitrogen, so which comprises of nitrogen also, molybdenum also. This particular compound we have taken over here, AHM. Okay, so what you can see that these are the X-ray diffraction patterns, and here in this case you will find that ultimately this beta phase, it is for the MO2C, okay, comprising of some nitrogen part also, because nitrogen not that much, its content is low here, so that will not come in the XRD pattern, but we have already observed the pure carbide part over here in this case. Now we have done the Raman spectroscopy. Why we have done the Raman spectroscopy? Because we wanted to be very particular that what type of phases that are present. Moreover, the molybdenum exists in different forms. As I told you that molybdenum MOC and MO2C, that also becomes part here. So you can see that after doing Raman analysis, we could categorize the material, what type of materials are existing in our case here. We have taken many type of materials, so I will not elaborate this one. But the beautiful part, what we have observed here is that you can see that the nitrogen, this is the blend structure. A part is a blend structure which comprises of molybdenum, carbon, oxygen and nitrogen. Okay, so this is the blend part where you will find that yellow color is for the nitrogen. So our material, and if you are interested, that you can see that nitrogen is uniformly distributed in D micrograph, you can see. So we have taken independently X-ray dot mapping of our material which has been synthesized at different temperature. The important part what I want to illustrate over here is that the content of the molybdenum, which is important, which is highly dense, you can see in the B microstructure over here, and then carbon, which is also dense here in the C, and D part nitrogen. Nitrogen, you will find that it is not so dense, but it is uniformly distributed. Means that our material is highly homogeneous in terms of predicting the property. It will give rise to isotropic property, not anisotropic property. Okay. So you can see that lattice fringing. Through lattice fringing, we have already confirmed that there are carbon sources. There is MO2C here. You can see different from the different planes. We have confirmed that this is existing over here. 002 plane of MO2C from the lattice fringing. 101 plane of the MO2C. 002 plane of the MO2C. So we have confirmed all these things from the TM microstructure now. Second part I want to illustrate here is that this, you can see that this thin-like microstructure, thin sheet of the graphene, that is important. In D microstructure, you can see that over one layer to another layer, there is it has a thickness of the graphitic sheets here. One layer deposited on another layer, then another layer, then another layer. So you can see that the transparency of the electron beam becomes important. So if it is dark in shade, that it may comprise of many more layers here. So this E part, if you see the microstructure E, you will find that it is transparent, and once you go to the right side, it becomes dense. It means that layer by layer structure is being deposited over here. Okay, second part I want to illustrate here in this microstructure is that the embedded carbide inside the graphitic sheet here. The dark structure, these are the embedded carbides. And once you go for the higher magnification micrograph, we have confirmed through that later. So this has become, you know, that within the graphitic sheet, the carbide is embedded, just like it is a sandwich. Sandwich agar aapne khaya hoga, embedded. So this is very fascinating microstructure, and it will, you know, that first of all, because of the presence of the carbon, materials becomes highly stable. Second thing is that it is sandwich, so it will provide you very good property whenever we are talking about the property of the material. So these structural features becomes very, very important. Okay. We have done measured the electrochemical properties here. You will find that this is a very good class of material. You can see that we have taken at different cycles over here, potential versus current curve. So what I would like to say that retention of the capacitance performance more than 95% over several cycles, not one cycle, several hundred cycles, we could get it from this material. Okay. So this is the summary of the talk. I would like to say that you can have waste polymers. You can make use of the carbon source from the waste polymers, and you can use molybdenum source, nitrogen source, and from all these things you can easily generate a material. You can easily synthesize a material comprising of molybdenum carbide, carbon, and nitrogen, and you can synthesize it. Okay. So this is the conclusion part. First segment I have completed. I will be starting with the second segment. Any query, any question, please let me know. Okay, this is first segment I have completed. Any query, any question, then I will start the second segment.
Sir, may I ask one question?
Definitely.
Sir, at the 17th slide.
अरे यार वापस जाना पड़ेगा क्या? अच्छा बताओ क्या क्वेश्चन क्या है?
So those cycles बन रहे हैं. What's the reason actually why there is lag? Is there something training like of thing that we make in the potential versus current?
Let me tell you as a layman, what is going to occur in the form of capacitance. You have to charge it and discharge it, discharge it. Okay, so we have to go for that particular cycle, and if your material is stable, it will behave similar nature, same type of nature, despite of many cycles. So you have to test your material for hundreds, thousands of cycles. So the shape should remain nearly same. I want to say that the shape of the charging and discharging should be nearly same. Second part important is that it should have a rectangular type of shape. It should go slightly inclined and acquire, then again come back like that way. Like it is just like a hysteresis loop. Okay, so that is important for us to make use of that material as a super capacitor, very good capacitance, and you have to have that particular cycle many times, thousands of cycles, because you are going to use the material for the capacitance. So we have tested it like that. That's why this is important.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Now from the audience side, if there is any query.
अगर किसी को नहीं पूछना है, I will take 5 minutes break and then I will start. पूछिए. हाँ जी पूछिए सर.
Yeah, Dr. Joshi, is there any question?
लाल यार चाय तो पिला यार. उधर हो गई. Okay, there will be no question at all.
Questions are in the chat box. May I read?
Sir, my question.
अरे यार chat part.
Question regarding autoclave when you are using the.
थोड़ी आवाज आपकी नहीं आ रही है. हेलो. थोड़ा माइक को पास ला के बोलो.
Yes, sir. May I audible?
हाँ, बोलिए सर.
Okay, sir. Sir, my question regarding autoclave. When you are using that is the in sealed autoclave and you using that high temperature, what are the pressure of that particular that time? Maybe because I have seen your reactions, it will take 20 hours, 10 hours, 14 hours. So I want to know about the condition of the pressure that time during the whole of reactions, because you are using also source of some gases also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Let me answer this question. You know that as such you cannot fix any pressure gauge here, because this is just like a bomb. it will, because it theoretically what we have done, that we have done the calculation. Right now I don't have any data, but a very high pressure. Let me tell you, it's very high pressure, and the pressure is that much that it can explode your entire chamber. Entire chamber may go out. That much high pressure. So we have taken a lot of precautionary measure in that case also. We have worked out minutely that how much pressure it can sustain, and as a safety measure, what was the requirement, double, triple size thickness of the material we have taken it. Right now it's very high pressure. Theoretically we have calculated it. Experimentally we could not measure because I wanted to take help of DRDO, because they have designed different sensors for measuring the pressure. I have worked with them also. So, but I could not measure. Let me tell you very frankly, I could not measure. I have purchased one autoclave also, but that failed also. We could not, but we have calculated. I don't have right now the data. I don't have the data right now, but it's very high pressure. The pressure is so much that it can जो आपकी छत की दीवार है ना वो तोड़ देगी, वो इतना प्रेशर होता है, वो बहुत high pressure, very high pressure.
I know, because we are also using the autoclave in reaction in industrial also, in laboratory scale also. So how can you increase the temperature? How you can increase that? Is a auto heating control or maybe whole bath?
Entire autoclave is kept inside the furnace.
Keeping in the furnace?
Yes.
Okay. So, and you also mentioned that titanium carbon, coating carbon, you have replaced them. So you have did a reaction with the carbon coating with the carbon, platinum coating carbon. Which type of the quality of platinum coating carbon? 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%. Which type of platinum carbon? You have mentioned the replaced by.
No. Let me tell you, I am not taking platinum. First of all, platinum, I am not taking platinum here for our reaction. Second thing is that our aim is to convert the oxide part to carbide, molybdenum oxide to molybdenum carbide here. So it's not different type of carbon. Normal carbon, C12, normal carbon we are taking. The source of the carbon is either any alcohol, ethanol, methanol, acetone, whatever you can say. And important part that we have taken waste polythene also. So these are the source of the carbon. It's not different carbon.
Sir, you have tried with the ethanol, because it's a liquid and
yeah. We have tried with ethanol.
High temperature. At high temperature.
Liquid is not going. See, this methanol is converted. It is converted to hydrogen and the carbon. And oxygen part is being absorbed by the magnesium. It is converted to magnesium oxide. And remaining part is that only hydrogen and carbon, nascent carbon, I would like to say. And this carbon is deposited on the surface of the oxides, and later on it facilitates the movement. So what I want to say that in the beginning, hydrogen is going to diffuse along the grain boundary of the material, and it is going to break the material, fragment the material to a very small size. You can see that nano size also. And it is easy for that nano oxide to convert to the carbide easily. Why I am saying easily? The reason is that after that, the carbon gets deposited on the surface of that oxides. So these oxides is easily converted to carbide, nano carbide.
Sir, one question only. Can you have testing about that? Yes, sir. Can you have tested about that? Can you have tested about the autoclave after purging inert gas? Then you are using some little bit gas of the hydrogen, and whatever your carbon source.
I'm not. See, initially I was purging the inert gas. After that, I in order to make the process economical, we stopped the purging of the inert gas. Also, we are simply using it. We are not purging any inert gas. We are simply using it, because I told you that the catalyst which we have taken, that is magnesium. Magnesium has its own beauty, that you know that magnesium chips, you will whenever you are going to use the magnesium, you have to wash it initially, treat it with the HCl, so that the surface of which is oxidized, it gets removed. So this occurs because magnesium easily absorbs oxygen. It is converted to magnesium oxide. So inside the autoclave also, whatever the oxygen is existing in this closed chamber, or whatever the oxygen is being produced by any of the ingredients of the material, it is taken care by the magnesium, because magnesium is going to take the existing oxygen, whatever the source may be, inside the autoclave, and it will be converted to magnesium oxide. So what is left over? Left over is hydrogen and carbon. So hydrogen, it facilitates in the fragmentation part, that slides I have not shown. It fragment out the material to small size, and after that carbon is deposited, then it is diffusing. We have already established this mechanism by carrying out the experiment at different temperature for different time. So this mechanism we have already established. It's not, there is no doubt about it.
Only the last things I want to know about that. In autoclave, we are taking all the three things: the molybdenum source, carbon source, and that reducing agent. All are three may be in solid form, without any solvent, right?
It may be in the solid form. It may be in the liquid form also. Just like acetone, I told you, methanol, ethanol. In any form you can take it.
Because these are the solvent and have the boiling points below 100. If you are taking the high temperature.
जोशी जी, मेरी बात समझिए पहले। इस बात को मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, हमारे लिए ये मैटर नहीं करता है कि बॉइलिंग पॉइंट कितना है, मेल्टिंग पॉइंट कितना है। हमारे लिए मैटर ये, बिकॉज यू आर परफॉर्मिंग द एक्सपेरिमेंट in a closed chamber. You don't allow the substance to come out from the chamber.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, चाहे आप एक्सेप्ट गैसेस को छोड़ दीजिए. You can take solid, you can take liquid. It hardly matters because everything is being taken care inside the autoclave. That autoclave, मैंने बताया ना कि autoclave कि डिजाइन में मुझे 10 साल लग गए. It has taken 10 years to design, optimize the case. We were performing the experiment, we failed, there is a leakage, performing then failed. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Shall I proceed for the next talk?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next talk I want to give you on the similar type of topic, that is called max phases. Max phases are this is a very recent material. It has been discovered something around hardly 10 years back here. And to the best of my knowledge, इधर north part में कोई max phase पर काम नहीं कर रहा है. We are the first to start this one in this area, max phases. The question is that what do you mean by max phases? And then I will be talking about MaxScene also. Just now I told you that carbides are there, just like molybdenum, tungsten, WC, tungsten carbide, WC. Okay. So what we have learned from that, because this WC is the substance, or carbides are substance which have very high melting point and can be used even from low temperature to high temperature here. But the problem with the carbides are that they are highly brittle in nature. They are not ductile in nature. So you cannot shape them for any application part, apart from the catalytic part. That part you leave it. Okay, we have already discussed on that one. Apart from the catalytic phase, the important thing is that if you can make this material flexible, it will be of high use for us also. So what we have done, that we have worked on a different class of material that is called max phases. max phases, this term was first referred by Borsum in 2000. I told you that it's not a very old work, okay? But let me tell you what do you mean by max phases. You know that M is the early transition metal carbide, transition metal, just like WC is the transition metal, and X is either carbon or nitrogen. So this is WC or carbide. So in this carbide, there is a W, there is a C. This is a transition metal, this is the carbon here. So what we are going to do, that we are going to put inside a metallic substances which can make this material rather flexible here. So it will be of more important, more useful. Please try to understand. What do you mean by, first of all, we have to understand what is the max phases. MX, let me tell you, M is a transition metal, X is the carbon or nitrogen, carbide or nitride. So the in between M and X, if you are going to put inside one layer of any metallic material, it becomes more flexible. It will participate, it will provide you a ductility part. That is very, very important for us to understand. So please make it in your mind that this max phases are a blend of structure where it can provide you the properties of all type of carbides, and also it will give rise to some ductility part. That is important here. So you can say that this is the metal, this is the ceramic. Its property is in between metals and ceramics. Ceramics are brittle in nature. Ceramics are brittle in nature and metals are highly ductile. So you can have a blend of these properties of ceramic and metals both. So max phases, it can be easily machined. It can provide you the electronic conductivity like metals, ductile at very high temperature, thermal shock resistance is very good, rather very low. Chemical stability is very high, heat stability is very high. So this is the beauty of the max phases. So it is, let me tell you that it is not so easy part that you can put a layer inside in between the M and X. ये आप लोगों को समझ में आनी चाहिए, पहली बात मैं फिर से रिपीट कर रहा हूं, क्योंकि there is a M layer, M is a transition metal, there is a X layer, MX comprises of metal carbide, metal nitride. So in between we are going to put a ductile layer of any metallic substances here. This is why the name has come max phases here. Okay, so if you see this periodic table, all the substances cannot be converted to max phases. This is important. And till date there are total 10 elements in the periodic table which are considered as M, whereas 12 elements which can be used as a. So M, A, X. X क्या है? कार्बन और नाइट्रोजन है, तो X फिक्स हो गया, X में कोई परिवर्तन नहीं है, either कार्बन और नाइट्रोजन. But M and A can be varied here. So this is important for anybody to understand. So there are 12 elements which can act as a. You cannot make use of all the metallic elements. ये बहुत difficult और बहुत इसमें काफी depth की knowledge चाहिए. How to change it? Okay, we have done a lot of theoretical modeling also. Okay, so there are 216 probable max compounds, but all of them have been not synthesized. Okay, 90 pure max phases compounds has been successfully synthesized. केवल 90 max phases बनाए गए हैं और 216 हैं. 216 are the compounds which can be synthesized based on the property you can work out here. So this is a very recent topic on which we are working. Okay, why we are interested in max phases? The answer is that it's the binary carbides and nitrides. This emerge as a crucial industrial material for many applications. These materials are commonly named as MX phases, in which M refers to the transition metals and X refers to the carbon and nitrogen. So as I told you that in between, if you are going to put A in between M and X phases, okay, you can bring out the flexibility here. So this is a, let me tell you, this is an advanced class of material on which a lot of work is going on. Okay, in India, only 2 centers are actively working. One is IISc Bangalore and another is Thapar Institute here. So max phases, it exhibits good thermal and electrical conductivity, low coefficient of thermal expansion, as I told you that, and more importantly, it has very good plastic deformation even at very high temperature. It is not going to break. It is not like behaving like a brittle material. Good resistance to fatigue, creep, oxidation, lot of things are there, and it has very high melting point. Okay. Now looking at the crystal structure, if you can see that this is the layered structure. In between, you can see that A is the monoatomic layer of A element. And what is A element? It is a metallic substance here. So this is the monoatomic layer of A substance. So this is the layered structure. And here what I have shown you, that the unit cell of the max phases is quite big. It's not small. So you can see that there are basically 3 categories what we have put over here. In these materials, M layers are intercalicated with a single A layer having X in the octahedral sides between M layer. Okay. The major difference in the structure with different N values is written over here. You can see that M2AX 211. Yet because of the M2, it is coming out to 211. In M3AX2, because it is M3, so it is 3, A is 1, X is 2, 312 phase. Because of the M4AX3, this is the classification and categorization of the material. So because M is 4 over here, so we are putting it 4, A is 1, 1, X is 3, 4, 1, 3 phases. Okay, it is 4 here. So like that, we are going to categorize these materials. So how to synthesize? This is very, very important here. There are many ways which is important for us to understand. We have worked out on this material in a different way. You can see that what we are going to do is that we are going to take the substance, raw material, whatever you can see, just like, and you have to go for the ball milling, then you have to compact it under hydraulic pressure, okay, and then you have to give the heat treatment at very high temperature. You can see this is the furnace, okay, and this leads to the formation of max phases here. So as I told you that this comprises of M and C, and aluminum is one of the metallic substance over here. So a lot of work is being done over here. So this is the simple protocol which we are going to follow. In step 1, mixing of the elements under the inert atmosphere is being done, and followed by compacting, and the third step we are going to sinter it very high temperature here. So it's not so easy to synthesize max phases. You know, after doing hundreds of experiments, not 1, 2, 3, 4, hundreds of experiments, we could succeed in synthesizing the max phases. We were getting carbides. So, but we have to optimize the condition here. Right now, I will be not talking too much over here, okay, because I become little bit tired now. So you can see that these are the different class sample ID, where we can see that chromium, carbon, aluminum. We have synthesized the Cr2AlC. This is 1 category of max phase. Cr2 is 2. So Cr2AlC max phase, on which we have worked out. Okay. So what I want to illustrate here, that you can see that under different experimental condition, the content of chromium, carbon, and aluminum we have taken, and you can see that we are not able to get a max phase. Rather, we are able to get carbide, aluminum carbide. Okay, see, so this is difficult task. So what we have done, that after doing lot of experimentation, we were able to succeed. And these are the possible. See, after that, what we have done, that we have done the theoretical work also. the thermodynamic parameter measurements. And based on those parameters, we could predict the mechanism over here. So ultimately, you can see that at 1300 degrees centigrade, at 1300 degrees centigrade, this is the 1200 degrees centigrade, at 1300 degrees centigrade, we could synthesize the max phase here. So these are the possible parameters. We have done Rietveld analysis also in order to confirm that whether we are right or not. So a lot of calculations we have done. I'm not going to discuss all this part in details, but simply briefly you can see. Now, next important is that you can see that the kinetics of the formation of max phase becomes very, very important here. So by making use of the thermal analysis, by heating at a different heating rates, we could perform some of the experiments where we could predict the model that what type of reaction parameters are going to take place. So this is not important for you people also, for us also, because these are the academic part which is important here. The important thing is that this is the academic part, that we have optimized the conditions, that what type of kinetic parameters are important here. Now, this is the important part. You know that this is the layered structure. If you can see the microstructure of this synthesized mixed phases, that you will find that this is existing in the form of layered structure here. So this is the same FEC graph, and in this interconnected layered structure is very, very important here. So lattice fringing, through lattice fringing measurement also we could perform that, we could get that confirm that this is the max phase here. A lot of work has been done. Okay, now important thing that why I am talking about this one, that you can see that there are just like a bundles of experiments. Here you can see this is the layered structure, but if you can see this is the layered structure, this is also layered structure. लेकिन आप ध्यान से अगर देखोगे तो जैसे गांठ, रस्सी की गांठ बांध दी जाती है, उसी तरीके से इनकी blending हुई है. And this part is important for any catalytic application, because you are going to expose different type of surfaces, different type of planes for achieving catalytic part. So if you look here, the orientation of different planes becomes important. You can see that this is one type, here one type, here one type. But every part is just like a layered structure here, layered structure. And if you look because we have used the fracture surface, the flexibility part can be determined. If you look here in detail here, this is the bending. This bending phenomena, B part in the microstructure B part, which I have shown over here in inset. You can see this B part, that this is the flexible in nature. This has got bended. Here also, just like जो रस्सी की गांठ लगाए जाते हैं उस तरीके के, you will find the features also. So what I want to say that these carbides, when intercalicated layer is existing over here, you will find that the ductile part is introduced inside the material. So this is the HR-TEM. Here you can see that through which also we could confirm the structure. And now, what type of elements are present, that we have also confirmed by the dot mapping, elemental dot mapping process also. Now you can see that this is the faceted structure, which is a typical characteristics of the carbide. But apart from this, the bending characteristics that also exhibit the ductile part which has been introduced inside the material here. We have done a lot of kinetic studies also. I am not interested in this one because this is the academic part. I am leaving it, as I am more interested to close my lecture. Okay, here also you can see that this is that part I have shown you about the chromium. Here you can see Ti3AlC2, another category of max phase. 312 category of max phase. Titanium, aluminum, carbon, titanium carbide. In between titanium carbide, there is an intercalated layer of A, max phases. But it is going to exhibit different type of structural feature. You can see that this is the plate-like structure. Very layered structure. Here you will find that this is the layered structure. And this is the typical morphological features of the max phases. Anybody, you can see that this is the bending phenomena over here, bended. So this part we have done, we have successfully investigated. We have done the electron mapping also, uniform distribution of the elements, okay, and also XPS analysis, oxidation kinetics we have studied, okay. After doing a lot of theoretical work, we could succeed in synthesizing this material. This is another category of V2AlC, third category of max phase, V2AlC. This is also 211 category of max phase, where you will find that similar type of structural features are existing. And this you can see, it's not always, let me tell you that you will never get pure max phase. If you look the XRD features I have shown over here, there is very slight little amount of carbides which are also present. So in the structural feature also, if you can see the B micrograph here, this is the faceted structure of the carbide, whereas this is the layered structure of the max phases here. And here you can see that this bendability indicates that the material is flexible in nature. Okay. We have done, this is the beautiful transmission electron micrograph we have taken, and we could predict here that these are the, okay. And see, it's not so easy. We have done lot of analysis also by adopting several reactions, thermodynamic parameters. Here in this table, you will find that what type of parameters are important, what type of kinetics is involved. So after doing all these things, we could succeed here. So सतनाम सिंह जी, मैं बंद करना चाहता हूं अगर आप मेरे को परमिशन दें, क्योंकि अब मेरा टाइम हो गया है.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, I'm really impressed. मैंने बहुत सारी notes बनाए. I note down the things. So in that last, let me formally ask my audience that if they have any question, any query, they may interact with you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah,
Sir, I am Puneet Chawla, working as associate professor in a government engineering college in Haryana, Sirsa. Sir, I have a question that this multi-phase planes, how it is applicable for the applications of electrical engineering system, like designing away capacitors, insulating materials, or any of the sort like electrical machine design concepts, or the power system qualities.
आपने एक सवाल पूछा है कि मल्टीप्लेन सिस्टम में कैसा यूजफुल हो सकता है, ये पूछा ना?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
अच्छा, आपको मैं जवाब दे रहा हूं, आप बड़े ध्यान से समझिए. देखिए, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग के आप हैं, मुझे लग रहा है आप अगर ट्रांसफार्मर कोर की डिजाइन करते हैं, ट्रांसफार्मर में उसमें जो आपका जो है ट्रांसफार्मर कोर की डिजाइन होती है जिसमें जो प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी वाइंडिंग होती है.
डेफिनेटली सर, सिलिकॉन स्टील मटेरियल जो हम यूज करते हैं.
सुनिए, पहले ध्यान से सुनिए, इस बात को ध्यान से सुनिए, इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है. अगर मैं किसी तरीके से जो हमारा जो आयरन सिलिकॉन की जो शीट होती है उसको अगर हम उसकी रोलिंग ऐसे करें कि उसमें एक पर्टिकुलर प्लेन में ओरिएंटेशन हो जाए. ध्यान से सुनिए मेरी बात, बिल्कुल इंपॉर्टेंट बता रहा हूं आपको, और उससे आपका आंसर आ जाएगा
जी.
और वो प्लेन हम ओरिएंट करें रोलिंग में जिसमें हिस्टेरिसिस लूप हमारा जो है बहुत पतला है.
डेफिनेटली ठीक कह रहे हो जी.
लॉस कम हो जाएगा कि नहीं हो जाएगा?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी,
हो जाएगा.
हाँ जी,
तो उस पर्टिकुलर, सुनिए पहले ध्यान से, उस पर्टिकुलर प्लेन को हम अगर एक्सपोज करें फॉर एनी एप्लीकेशन, हमारा अगर वो पर्टिकुलर प्लेन इन्वॉल्व होगा जिसमें हमारा हिस्टेरिसिस लॉस कम हो रहा, बिकॉज यू नो दैट अलग अलग प्लेन में अलग अलग होगा, ये थोड़ा सा आप समझने वाली बात है. मेरा सवाल ये है कि अगर आप इस चीज को ऑप्टिमाइज करके किसी भी तरीके से, वॉट एवर द सोर्स में भी, आप अगर उसको ऑप्टिमाइज करके, चाहे मैकेनिकल वर्किंग से, चाहे आप केमिकल वर्किंग से, अगर आप उसको ऑप्टिमाइज करके अगर उसको ओरिएंटेशन अपने हिसाब से दे लेंगे तो आपको फायदा होगा कि नहीं होगा?
डेफिनेटली, ठीक कह रहे हो, ठीक है जी, बिल्कुल।
उसी तरीके से हम लोग इस प्रोसेस में, जो आपने कहा कि अलग अलग प्लेन अलग अलग प्लेन का कैसे करते हैं, उसी तरीके से, बिकॉज एक प्लेन में इसके लिए रीजन क्या है, एक प्लेन में लेंगे तो उसमें जो है एटम टू एटम डिस्टेंस वेरी करता है। जैसे मान लीजिए हम कोई मान लीजिए एफसीसी है, 100 प्लेन लिए हैं, तो एफसीसी में आपका कॉर्नर पर एटम है, फेस सेंटर पर है, 110 प्लेन लिए, तो उसमें एटम टू एटम डिस्टेंस वेरी करता रहता है। तो अगर हम रोल करेंगे तो जो एटम जो पास में होंगे उनको खसकाना आसान होगा, उसको इजीली रोल कर सकते हैं जी, कि नहीं? तो हम उसी पर्टिकुलर प्लेन को ऐसे मैकेनिकल प्रोसेस से रोलिंग करते हैं ताकि वो ही प्लेन हमारा जो है रोल होकर के आए। देयर आर टेक्निक्स। अब वो सारी चीजों को हम इस लेक्चर में कैसे बताएंगे, समझे कि नहीं? तो हमारे एक पीएचडी स्टूडेंट थे, सीटीआर लुधियाना के डायरेक्टर थे, ठीक है, सीपी खट्टर, उन्होंने मेरे साथ काम किया, बेचारे रिटायर हो गए हैं। उनके साथ मैंने ये सब काम को बहुत करवाया है। और अगर यही नहीं है, अगर आपने बात किया तो मैं आपको एक छोटी सी आपकी बात के ऊपर आपको एक चीज दिखा दें कि ये कितना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, जो आपको ये जो पर्टिकुलर जगह, अगर आप मान लीजिए किसी प्लेन की, अगर आप किसी भी प्लेन की डेंसिटी अगर आप किसी तरीके से कम, मतलब ऐसे अरेंज कर लें जिसकी वजह से जो है, अगर आप उसको किसी तरीके से, अगर मान लीजिए उस प्लेन को हाईली डेंस बना दें, तो उसमें क्या होगा, आपको फायदा क्या होगा कि आप उस पर्टिकुलर चीज को ज्यादा यूजफुल तरीके से काम में ला सकते हैं। जैसे मैं आपको एक चीज दिखाना चाहता हूं, अभी हम लोगों ने एक स्टील डेवलप किया है जिसमें जो है उसको उस पर्टिकुलर पैरामीटर को हमने जो है यूज किया है। वी हैव मेड दैट प्लेन वेरी डेंस, और उस डेंस में अगर आप उस प्लेन को अगर आप बहुत ही डेंस बना देंगे तो उससे क्या होगा कि दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेन इज गोइंग टू बिकम वेरी वेरी हार्ड, बहुत हार्ड हो जाएगा। तो जैसे मान लीजिए अभी जो है, जैसे बुलेट प्रूफ मटेरियल है, आपने गोली दागी किसी को मारा, और उससे जो है क्या उसमें क्या जरूरत है कि उसमें आपको अगर मान लीजिए वहां इतना हार्ड कर देंगे कि वहां से गोली रिफ्लेक्ट होकर के दूसरे को लग सकती है, तो जरूरत क्या है, वहां पर थोड़ा सा उसका जो टिप है, उस टिप को आप अगर उसको बस्ट कर दें, मतलब थोड़ा डेंट हो जाए, डैम्प हो जाए, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो वो उस पर्टिकुलर चीज को देखने के लिए मैं आपको एक वीडियो दिखा रहा हूं, अगर आप ध्यान से देखेंगे तो हमने एक सक्सेसफुली बुलेट टेस्ट किया, अगर आप उसको ध्यान से देखेंगे, इज इट विजिबल टू यू और नॉट? देखिए इसमें गोली जा रही है,
जी जी जी,
देखा आपने?
हाँ जी हाँ जी।
उसमें क्या है कि आप उस पर्टिकुलर और उसके बाद आफ्टर बुलेट टेस्ट जो आपने इसमें अगर आप देखेंगे डेंट हुआ पड़ा है ना, वो जो पर्टिकुलर स्टील है, तो हाँ उसमें क्या है कि थोड़ी सी डेंट हो करके, मतलब यू विल नॉट फाइंड दैट वो पार्ट जो है वो मतलब डैम्प हो गया है, रिफ्लेक्ट होकर के नहीं जाएगा, उसको थोड़ा सा डैम्प करके, लेकिन पेनिट्रेट भी ना करे। सो एक्चुअली वो पर्टिकुलर प्लेन को जो स्टील का, इसमें जो हमने क्या किया कि प्लेन के अंदर ही इंटरवीविंग स्ट्रक्चर ऐसे डाल दिया है कि वो लाइट वेट बहुत अच्छे मटेरियल डेवलप हुआ है, और जिसमें जो है ये SLR की हमने टेस्टिंग किया, जिसमें जो है बुलेट की वेलोसिटी जो होती है 1200 मीटर पर सेकेंड, बहुत हाई वेलोसिटी से पेनिट्रेट करता है, टेस्टिंग किया है। कहने का मतलब है कि आपको फंडामेंटली उसके ऊपर काम करना है, हाउ टू मेक दैट प्लेन डेंस। ये कोई जरूरी नहीं कि अगर एटम टू एटम, उसके अंदर इंटरस्टिशियल साइट होता है, इंटरवीविंग भी होता है, बहुत चीजें काम करने के ऊपर होती है, थॉट प्रोसेस इन्वॉल्व होता है। तो सर इसमें बहुत काम करने को है, बहुत है। हम तो मटेरियल्स के कीड़ा हैं। अब तक तो करीब देखो ऐसा है कि मोर देन 50 PhD निकाल चुका हूं मैं, अभी 10-12 ऐसे पड़े हुए हैं, चल रहे हैं, काम चल रहा है। तो कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है, आप कोई और सवाल पूछो, यानी यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम। तो आपको समझ में आ गया कि नहीं कि ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है
ना? ठीक बताया सर कि कि हिस्टेरेसिस लॉस को कम करना है, ताकि उसी हिसाब से हमारा जो मटेरियल है हाईली मैग्नेटिक मिल जाए।
हाँ,
और इजी ट्रांसफर ऑफ एनर्जी कैन टेक्स प्लेस फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रिकल टू इलेक्ट्रिकल और मैकेनिकल टू इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स। आ गया सर, सही बात है जी।
डॉक्टर पुनीत, इस टॉपिक पे हमारे पास एक और भी स्पीकर है जो कि फ्राइडे को बोलेंगे।
ठीक है जी,
अमिताभ मित्रा। सो प्लीज उनका भी आप अटेंड कीजिए।
ठीक है सर।
हाँ भाई, सतनाम सिंह जी, और बोलो, और कोई है पूछने वाला?
ऑडियंस प्लीज, इफ you have any question you may ask, otherwise I shall formally say thanks to sir.
So good morning sir. Hello. Good morning sir. All the grown samples, the blend samples, it shows the similar cell volume. Why this happened?
Similar cell volume?
Yeah, yes.
No, it's not similar cell volume. It's not similar cell volume.
Almost very close, sir. Very close, sir. That's why I'm asking that, sir.
See, let me ask one thing. What do you mean by similar cell volume?
So
cell volume is, are you talking about the unit cell?
Yeah, yes, sir. That's
No. See, in the unit cell, because of the variation of the atomic size of different elements like chromium, titanium, vanadium, okay, cell volume is not similar. Structure is similar, crystal structure is similar, but size of the cell is different. A, B, and C parameters are different. Seen Kumar ji, is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Yes.
Shall I show you the crystal?
But there is
if you are interested, I will show you.
After the grown, some sample may expand, some sample may contract. No, that's why cell contraction, cell expansion.
Yeah, that exists in the system, but it's not similar. It's different.
Okay, thank you.
अरे यार सतनाम बाबू।
यस सर।
अरे यार, आपके जो ऑडियंस है नीरस हैं यार, उनके अंदर दम नहीं है पूछने। मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ कि हमसे सवाल पूछो, हम आपके लिए यहाँ बैठे हैं, कोई भी सवाल पूछे। अगर इतने लोग पूछते हैं तो आई कैन रियली हेल्प द पीपल, क्योंकि मैं चाहता हूँ कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग इस एक्टिविटी में इन्वॉल्व हो। मेरी तो जिंदगी गुजर गई।
Sure sir, I know that you have vast experience in this field.
जी सर जी।
But our audience, actually, there are a few new students as well as new researchers, new faculties. So they sometimes hesitate.
कोई बात नहीं, मैं तो वही कह रहा हूँ। मैं तो बिल्कुल सिंपल तरीके से जवाब दूंगा उनको, ताकि उनको समझ में आ जाए एज ए लेमैन। ऐसा नहीं मेरे को, मैं टीच मतलब साइंटिफिक तरीके से मैं चलूंगा। चलो, अगर नहीं है तो बंद करें दुकानदारी अपनी।
नाइस प्रेजेंटेशन सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच, नाइसली इंफॉर्मेटिव। शुक्रिया सर, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
हाँ, थैंक यू पुनीत बाबू, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थोड़ा मैं मजे से पढ़ाता हूँ, हमारा यही है।
I have known to you as well as Dr. Kulveer sir also, so it is a nice presentation और मजा आता है सर, आप जैसे सीनियर फैकल्टी से कुछ सीखने को मिलता है जी।
वो हमारे बहुत अच्छे दोस्त हैं कुलवीर सिंह जी, हम लोग दोनों बहुत बढ़िया काम करते हैं।
तो जिंदगी में ऐसे सीखने का मौका मिलता है सर, आप जैसे लोगों से जुड़ते हैं तो कुछ पता लगता है कि हमें नया क्या करना चाहिए।
हाँ देखो, अभी ये जो रिसेंट जो काम है ना, मैक्स फेजेस वाला,
जी जी, ये
बहुत फैसिनेटिंग है और इसकी अपॉर्चुनिटी इतनी है कि जो इस आदमी में इस एरिया में काम करेगा वो आगे जाएगा।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है जी। ठीक है, शुक्रिया
ठीक है, ओके
जी।
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks from our side. Thanks from the sides of our audience. Even audience are writing thanks to you in the chat box. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Dr. O.P. Pandey has given lecture. Actually, we have formally invited Dr. Kulveer Singh, but due to some problem, Dr. Kulveer could not deliver the talk. But in place of Dr. Kulveer, today, Dr. O.P. Pandey, equally experienced, and definitely, sir, we are honored to learn from you, and it's definitely increased our knowledge. A number of points I have noted down from your talk. And thank you very much, sir, for this talk and sparing your valuable time for this Atal FTP on the novel materials and its applications. Thanks a lot, sir.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर सतनाम सिंह जी, और आपकी जो बगल में जो स्टूडेंट बैठी है उसको भी धन्यवाद, क्योंकि बहुत मेहनत कर रही है, मॉनिटर कर रही है, और सारे ऑडियंस को जो सुने हैं, देखे हैं। और हो सकता है अगर मान लीजिए ये पेंडेमिक खत्म हो जाएगा तो कभी आपके यहाँ आकर के और अच्छे तरीके से भाषण देंगे, मजे लेंगे हम तो आपके यहाँ।
Yes, sir. Most welcome. I want to interact with you in real instead of the online things, sir.
Thank you. So nice of you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, dear audience, since next our speaker is Dr. Atul, is yet not joined, so let's wait for some time, and we will continue sharply at 11:30. So, if you, in the meantime, if you want to take some rest, you may please take your rest, and we will exactly continue at 11:30 p.m. after half an hour. Thank you. Thanks to all. Thanks to all. Yes, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Now the second session of day 3 of Atal FDP on novel materials and their applications being addressed by Dr. Atul Khanna. Dr. Atul Khanna is working as professor at Department of Physics, Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar. He earned PhD degree in applied physics from Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, and postdoctoral research at the University of Arkansas, USA. He worked as scientific officer in the Technical Physics and Prototype Engineer Division, BARC Mumbai, where he initiated research in thin film gas sensors. He has published more than 83 research papers in international journals. Dr. Atul Khanna supervised more than 15 PhD students. Professor Khanna has completed 16 major research projects and 4 ongoing projects funded by DST, UGC, DAE, IUAC, CSIR. He has teaching experience more than 10 years. He has honored with the Young Scientist Award in Physics by Indian Science Congress Association, Kolkata, the National Builder Award, and the Vocational Excellence Award. Besides a number of conferences, presentations, he has also delivered popular talks in inspired camps, schools, colleges, and universities. In this session, Dr. Atul Khanna is going to share and guide us on topic glass and crystalline phosphors for solid state lighting. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for my introduction. And I thank all the faculty, staff, the Vice Chancellor,